Yo, what's up world? It's your buddy Philko here reporting live from Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine. Making a video for Americans and Russians and Ukrainians. This channel here is usually for like people who speak English as a first language. Most people from other countries don't really understand what I'm saying on this channel. That's why I don't really advertise this channel to foreigners. Not foreigners, but people who are from a native English speaking country. But this video I will try to make for everybody. I'll speak a little slower. As for my other channel, I haven't made any videos on that channel for a while. I'm kind of taking a break from it. I make videos a lot on this channel, mostly for English speakers. But I'll get back to teaching English. I might open up a new channel with like a new style of teaching English for you people who missed those videos. I'm not going away. I just want some time to just be myself, you know. So that's why I haven't made any videos in a while. But I will get back to it. Just give me some time. You know, 2 years straight, I did an amazing job. I deserve a little break. But anyway, let's get to what's going on in Ferguson. In Ferguson, in my home country, America, you know. And first, I guess I'll speak to the Russians and the Ukrainians first because there was something I heard when I was in Russia. I didn't hear it since I've been in Ukraine, but this is something I heard when I was in Russia. You guys know I was in Russia for like 2 years. I heard people talking and saying things like, you know, Phil, you know, there's a lot of crazy things that go on with black people in America, you know, and we're just kind of worried that because we have a lot. And some of us are kind of worried that we have a lot of black people here in Russia and the same thing can happen. You know, they'll start protesting, start doing this and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I guess I understand where they're coming from. What I tell these people is this. African Americans and Africans are completely different. That's the #1 reason why I tell people stop calling people African Americans who aren't American. It's the stupidest thing ever. It's extremely stupid. I don't care what they teach you, it's stupid because it's obviously wrong. You know, it's similar to Americans calling white people Caucasian. It's stupid. It's because we don't know any better, because we don't know anything about the Caucasus Mountains. So both are stupid in their own way. But the main difference is, when you speak about the Africans in your country, they're visitors. They're foreigners. It's different. There's a humongous difference between something happening in a foreign land and then something happening at your home. Those African Americans you see in Ferguson, they're at home. That's home. It's very different than if they go somewhere something bad happens. Because, you know, when you go somewhere, you travel to another land, you know, you're very wary, you look different than everybody else. You almost expect some negative things to happen sometime, you know, and if negative things don't happen, people are surprised. Like, I was in Russia for 2 years and I've never been hurt or something. A lot of people are surprised. But if I say, yeah, I lived in New York City for 26 years, it's not a big deal that I've never been hurt. You know, it's not that big of a deal. It's different. You know, when you're a foreigner in the land and you look different than everyone else, and Russia has a very aggressive reputation, you know what I mean? So it has a very aggressive reputation, actually, very. But it's different than something happening at home. So the difference between Africans in Russia and African Americans is humongous. So that's one difference. One, the Africans are visitors. Two, the African Americans, they're at home. The second big thing is the African Americans going crazy in America. They're going crazy because it's not just what happened. It's basically history repeating itself. It looks like history repeating itself all over again because African Americans in Russia. See, I'm messing up. African Americans in America. I have to say African Americans in America now because in Russia anyone's an African American who's black, which is stupid, but African Americans in America, they understand the history of that country. They understand the history of their home. Because America is their home and they understand the history of it. It's been a real dark, gloomy, just ugly history for a lot of the African Americans in America. You know, they understand that it was a bad history. You know, there was slavery, there were Jim Crow laws, separate but equal. You know, can you imagine? Like, in America, I wasn't born yet, but in America, we used to have, like, colored-only water fountains and white-only water fountains. So if you had skin color, you had to drink from the dirty water fountain. And if you were white, you drink from the good water fountain. Same thing with the bathrooms. Fucking stupid. It's like doing laundry. You separate your whites from everything else. But I know it's not funny, but that's how it was. And, you know, we learn about these things in school, and so we honestly, and we real strongly, we don't want any of those kind of things to repeat itself. Because when this white officer killed this black man, They left the, well, he's a teenager. You know, he was young. When he killed this, let's say black man. Let's say black man. When an officer killed this black man, his body was left in the street. You know, people just looking and filming, and he's just lying there for so long. No one's covering him. No one's giving him any aid or anything. He's just lying there dying. Just letting him lay there. A lot of people were extremely offended by that. And the thing is, he didn't have a weapon. He did not have a weapon when he was killed. And so when people hear these kind of things, they just think, oh, again. They're trying to treat us as like animals again. You know, it's not like this was just a one-time incident. This incident, they're not only mad about this one incident. When you see the protests and people angry, they're not only mad about this one incident, it's this incident plus all the other ones. We don't want that kind of history to repeat. We don't want it to keep happening. We don't want to have to keep hearing about blacks being killed by whites for no reason. We're tired of it. We've been through way too much of that through history. You know, the country was kind of partially built on whites using blacks. And a lot of them are just tired of it. But then there is another side of it that a lot of people know. When they say, oh, blacks commit a lot of violence in America, they do. But you know, when blacks commit violence in America, you know what happens to them? They go to jail. This white guy murdered this black guy, he's not going to jail. He's not getting in trouble. He's going to go home, make love to his wife, play video games. He's not going to jail. That's the difference. If he were going to jail like which I think he's supposed to. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to go to jail. If he would go to jail, if he would have gone to jail like he was supposed to, it wouldn't be all this going on. It's because he's not getting in trouble. Like, we kill each other a lot, yeah, but we go to jail a lot. They kill us, they don't go to jail? Like, that's not fair. Now, a lot of people speculate about what actually happened that day when Mike Brown was killed. A lot of people speculate about it. Because, you know, what I say is, I say there should be cameras on cops. That's my thing. If we put cameras on cops in America, you know, we can actually see what happens. Because I'll tell you right now, cops in America are way, let me find a good word because there's foreigners watching this one, are way more, they're way more pussy than officers and cops in Russia and Ukraine. I've never really had an incident with Russian police for 2 years. Maybe just one, but the next day I cleared it up. But maybe just besides that one time, I've never really had an incident there. For me to be different, to be a foreigner, Russian and Ukrainian police officers have treated me with a lot of respect. You know, they're not just so quick to want to kill somebody who's threatening them. You know, a Russian cop will punch you in the face when an American cop will shoot you in the head. A Russian cop would punch you in the face when an American cop would shoot you in the head. American cops are cowards. They're really quick to just shoot somebody. Even though they have other weapons, they can have the spray, they can have the billy club, they just go straight for the gun a lot. That's what happened to this kid. Went straight for the gun. You know, they're scaredy cats. A lot of them are scaredy cats. You know, and I'm really not trying to pick sides, but it's just ridiculous how an unarmed person was killed, shot many times. He was shot many times in front of a lot of people. He was killed and he's not going to jail. So you can imagine why these people are so fed up. This is happening in their home. They're not some fucking visitors. This is their home. African Americans are black people who are American citizens only. So you don't have to worry thinking, oh, we have Africans, this might happen in Russia or Ukraine. No. They're Africans, they're visitors. It's completely different. It's completely different. So I don't want to hear, oh, we're worried, that's going to spread here. It's not going to spread. Same thing with the whole knockout game. It was so stupid. Everyone's like, oh, man, we have blacks here in Russia and Ukraine. We don't want to start getting knocked out. Yo, look. You're never going to have a day. Well, you're not going to have a day where Africans are going around randomly hitting people in Russia. Just stop it. It's not happening. It's completely different, okay? African Americans do crazier shit, I admit, because it's their home. People usually act a little crazier when they're at home because they're more comfortable. When you're in another place where you look, especially when you look different, if I go outside right now and commit a crime, everyone's going to know it's me. They'll be like, who did it? The black one. Damn it. You know, they're going to know it's me. You understand? So people tend to behave in other places usually, especially when they look different, especially the Africans. Black people in Russia generally behave their asses off. You don't have like dangerous black areas like we do in America. You know, we have some bad black neighborhoods, well, a good number, bad black neighborhoods in America, but you don't have that shit in Russia. You know, the black people there is very peaceful. They go study medicine. They love studying medicine. You know, then they go back home usually. You know, so it's just completely different. I don't want people out here in Russia and Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine right now, but out here in Russia and Ukraine looking at this incident as something that can spread to where they are. Because I've heard that when this incident first happened when I was in Russia, I was like, get out of here. You know, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Same thing with the knockout game. It was the stupidest thing I ever heard. It's very, very different, all right? So I guess that's really all I have to say. Oh, and another thing. The news, they are exaggerating. CNN, they are exaggerating. They make everything look bigger than it is. It's not, they are exaggerating. Sure, there's a lot of protests, even in my city of New York City, which is far away from Ferguson. People are marching on the bridges, cars can't pass by and can't drive and all this stuff. People are very upset, but it's not as bad as it looks. It's not a whole bunch of burning cars and trashing places. I'm sure it's happening a little bit, but it's nowhere near as much as you think it is. It's the news exaggerating because they want people to watch their news, and the more exciting the news is, the more it grabs your attention, the more people will watch it. So they say, oh my God, riots, looting, people dying and all that. They're making it bigger than it is. It's bigger than it is, I guarantee you. People are upset. It is not just a bunch of angry black people. It's not. It's a bunch of angry people. Go look at the photos and the videos. It's not just a bunch of black people at all. It's black people, it's white people, it's Asians, Latinos, it's Middle Easterners. A lot of people are pissed behind it. But black people are leading this, but a lot of people are angry behind it. It's not just a bunch of black people. Go watch all the news sources you can. Don't just watch news sources from your country. And don't just watch news sources. Well, actually, how can I put this? When something's happening in a country, what you want to do is, especially here in America, you want to watch two different sources from that country. So, two news channels that kind of differ from each other with views. In America, the biggest ones like CNN and Fox News. If I were you, I would watch CNN and Fox News to basically understand what's going on. Don't watch Russian news that much. They don't know what the fuck's going on. And don't watch Ukrainian news that much. They don't know what the fuck's going on. And Fox News and CNN barely even knows what's going on. So if the news in our country is barely knowing what's going on and they're lying, you want to watch news from another country? Don't do it. I mean, you can watch, but they don't know what they're talking about. They don't understand the history. They don't understand the feeling. They don't understand the neighborhood. They don't understand it. Most of them have never been there. And if they have been there, they've been there for like 5 years. And they don't understand it from the roots. They weren't born and raised there like I was. They were not. You know, they're not Americans. They may have visited. I've been in Russia for 2 years. Am I Russian now? Hell no, I'm not. I have an idea what goes on there, but I'll never really understand what's going on in Russia because I'm not a Russian. I can't give my opinions on politics because I'm not a Russian person. I don't know what's best for the Russian people. Same thing with what's going on in America. They don't know. They have a little idea, but they don't know. They're listening to what they hear from the American news, then putting it in their own words. So it's even distorted even more, okay? So basically all I want to say is, yeah, people are upset, and they should be upset because it's a frustrating feeling knowing that somebody was murdered and the person who we know murdered him is not getting in trouble. How would you feel? You know, so I guess that's basically it. I hope you guys understood it. I usually don't make videos for everybody on this channel, but I tried it because people asked for it. And that's basically it, people. Let me know what you think. I am out. Later.